past week, I just noticed that every time I tried to work, every time I tried to channel, every time that I wanted to be at peace with myself, something kept happening and something kept preventing me from doing the things I like, from things that I needed to do, because ever since I came back from Mount Shasta and everything that happened end of June, first week of July, it's been, you have things that you need to do. There's so much to do. And my higher self and the, Divine Mothers kept pushing me to everything that I needed to do. So it came as a real surprise this past week when I couldn't get any work done. I couldn't really be with myself and sit into myself and dive into work. One of the examples is I was giving myself stepping away from home responsibilities and just going to sit with self. And every single time I try to record or I tried to do a Facebook Live or a YouTube Live, it was always someone was coming next to me and sitting next to me and talking or being loud, or kids would start congregating and riding their bikes right next to me. No matter what park I went to, no matter what quiet spot I went into, something just always seemed to happen. Today morning in the pool as well, there was not a soul here. As soon as I sat down, I spoke with Minnie. I said, okay, I have my plan. I had my messages that I've been gathering, and sure enough, a whole bunch of happy people that just want to enjoy their Friday and want to be enjoying their outdoors just started coming up and being really just loud and enjoying their time. And then this evening, right before I went Facebook Live, I tried to go YouTube Live, and it said that I do not qualify to go live on YouTube because YouTube has changed its standards, and you have to have 1,000 subscribers now in order to go YouTube Live from a mobile device. You have to use a computer, laptop, desktop. And I just looked at myself and I was like, what is going on? I can't do anything. And I will be very honest and say I've cried quite a few times this past week. I have felt so much resistance to doing what I need to do. And I've just sat there and cried at all these events and all these times where it has felt that I have been stopped and something outside of me has been, stopping me. And I realized with Minnie as I was FaceTiming with Minnie, it just hit me, the realization that my reality was trying to shut off that belief that things will not fall into place for me, that things won't ever fall into place for me, and that things are not happening for me, yet they are happening to me. And there was just this aha moment that I had where nothing's ever going to go my way. And nothing's going my way, and that's the way it's always going to be. And boy, did it feel empowering and disempowering at the same time, because now, yes, I know what it is that I need to release, a belief system, that nothing's going my way, and that I need to work hard or fight for what it is that I want to achieve, that things aren't going to come easily. So I realized that was that belief system that during this time is coming up, that needs to be shed and that needs to be released. So I have been struggling with this all week and crying off and on and trying to get work and trying to do so much when, work was being done, but it wasn't the work that I thought it was. It wasn't the work that I thought it was, So it's been a tough week when I didn't sit with myself, Claudia. I didn't sit with myself. I was just thinking of everything that my higher self was telling me the first week of July instead of what it is now, what's happening during this time, you know, with the current energies and purging and releasing. So I had this big belief system to move past of everything around me not falling into place, and how things will never fall into place because it's summer, because I have 4 boys, because I can't really get situated at home. And it feels good to know now what is going on. It feels good to get to that point where I know what I have to work on instead of, well, you know, just let the messages come across. So I really encourage you all to perhaps look at what has been happening this past week or 2 weeks or month with you that perhaps we're just missing, that we're kind of going against the tide, you know, going against, I don't know that English term, Spanish is my first language, like going against the current, I guess you would say, you know, where you're trying to achieve something and it just doesn't fall into place and you don't know why, or whatever it is for you in your awareness, in your reality, and everything that encompasses who you are, because it will be different for all of us. But what is it that's going on with you that perhaps there's some frustration or some anger or some resentment or judgment. So I was sitting here before going on Facebook Live, and I was connecting with Quan Yin, and I've been connecting with Quan Yin quite a bit today. What happened was that I wanted to tap into shame. And Quan Yin doesn't really speak much. Quan Yin, at least with me, it's very much a just loving presence of just being, of shining her light on strengthening you and cleansing you, whether it's with the waters or whether it's with her light. That's something that usually happens with her. I don't usually speak with Quan Yin, with my inner Quan Yin. I just allow it to be. But today I decided to shake things up a bit. Like, it was probably like 30 minutes ago. And what came up was shame. And it was, the message that she stated was, shame is the biggest distressor of human evolution. There must be a release into being. How do you wish to be, and how do others wish you to be? Do not be so quick to fall into the cyclic trap of shame. Just as much as light enters the body, so does shame shed off. And at that moment, with that last sentence, just as much as light enters the body, so does shame shed off. She did her usual, where she's shining her, her light on me in her majestic, pure white form. But it was also, I wouldn't say light, but an energy also leaving the body. So I received the visual of the light, that certain light, that denseness of shame energetically leaving the body, and her light entering. So she was giving me that visual of, you can do this, you can release shame in this way, where you're visualizing that energy of shame leaving the body. Just as easily was the fact that she was trying to get across, just as easily as you can tap into and visualize light entering your sphere. So I really appreciated that visual that Quan Yin gave me, of how easy it is, that transfer of leaving and entering. So here's the full message again. Shame is the biggest distressor of human evolution. There must be a release into being. How do you wish to be, and how do others wish you to be? Do not be so quick to fall into the cyclic trap of shame. Just as much as light enters the body, so does shame shed off. That's it. That's all I have. And please let me know how you're doing and how you have been this past week, this past month. And be gentle with yourselves. Thank you. Love you all. Bye.